The United States is accusing 6 Chinese nationals of stealing corporate trade secrets. And now, for the first time, China's foreign ministry is commenting on these allegations. CCTV's Roee Ruttenberg is in our newsroom with more. Roee?
That's right, Mike. This isn't the first time, by the way, that the U.S. has charged Chinese nationals over the theft of intellectual property. In fact, indictments and prosecutions have increased dramatically in recent years, and the Justice Department says that half of them are connected to China. 3 of the 6 Chinese nationals charged were professors at China's Tianjin University. They include 35-year-old Pang Wei and 36-year-old Zhang Hao. The U.S. Justice Department confirmed that Zhang was arrested last week by authorities in California upon returning from China. The other 5, they believe, are still there. Washington says several of the men studied together at a California university, then went on to work as engineers at 2 American tech firms, Avago and Skyworks Solutions. Both make, among other things, acoustic resonators known as F-bars, often used as filters in wireless devices. Both companies are big suppliers to Apple, maker of the iPhone, which is widely sold both in the U.S. and in China. U.S. Justice Department officials say the group stole protected know-how from the firms and used it to create a state-of-the-art F-bar fabrication facility back at Tianjin University. They also say the group opened a joint venture tech company in partnership with the government and provided F-bars to Chinese commercial and military entities. Peter Torin is a former federal prosecutor who tried Washington's first economic espionage case.
You would have to show that the individuals were being sponsored by, being directed, that there was a connection between what they were doing, that the intent of the individuals in stealing the trade secrets was to benefit an entity that was under control of some branch of the Chinese government or of the state.
China said it would investigate the charges while protecting its nationals.
The Chinese government expresses strong concern about the relevant matter, and we are checking further details. The Chinese government will make sure that the legitimate rights and interests of the Chinese personnel are guaranteed in Sino-U.S. bilateral exchanges.
Last year, U.S. authorities charged 5 members of a Chinese military unit of hacking American companies. The move infuriated Beijing, which rejected the accusations and said it was the U.S. doing the spying. China then suspended cooperation with Washington on cyber issues. This month's charges may further upset relations between the 2 economic giants. And Mike, in recent years, economic espionage investigations and prosecutions have increased by some 30% annually. One of those targeted last year was Sherry Chen, a Chinese-born naturalized U.S. citizen who was living in Ohio and working as a hydrologist. She was arrested on suspicion of stealing trade secrets, but after 5 months, just 1 week before her trial, prosecutors dropped all charges against her with no explanation.
So the Sherry Chen case went away. What can we expect with these charges?
Well, there are 6 individuals charged, and I should point out that there are actually 2 codes that they're being charged with violating. A code 1832, which has to do with stealing trade secrets, and the second one is code 1831, which has to do with cooperating with a foreign government, in this case, China. Now, from what I understand, that is more difficult to prove, and that will be the burden on federal prosecutors. A former prosecutor that I spoke with said if they're not confident that they have that sort of evidence, they likely wouldn't have gone after the 6 in the first place. Remember, only one of them has been arrested here on U.S. soil. The other 5 remain abroad, but they do all face perhaps up to 50 years in prison if convicted.